and subsectors, because we are driving towards the same goal. We want Nigeria to industrialize. We want to build an aspirational class that is going to be your next, middle class population. You need that to enhance demand in the economy, to enhance productivity in the economy, to expand production and all of this. That is how it will help. You will not see the effect every day. This is why I say there are two levels. The level that Dr. Melafia was talking about, and all of this one, they are dealing with that level of how do we make things not get worse from July to August, from August to September, and that's okay.
Are those short term, or would you?
That is the short term. That's what much of your ERPG was supposed, the ERGP was supposed to do to micromanage, if you like, the statistics, the effects and everything across the economy in such a way that you can begin to push down on recession, and in the process you can unleash economic energy within the system to start pushing us towards where we should be going.
Yeah. Okay, but when you look at this figure
because
now,
this is not our goal. This is not where Nigeria should be going.
So how much of this speaks to our agenda to diversify into agriculture?
Again, it's a good question. I love this question. You see, we should be very clear why we need to develop agriculture. Look, development in Nigeria, the transition is not going to be different from any other country. It's almost a science. You move from primary agriculture, crude, raw agriculture. You must first link your agricultural development, the value chain that Dr. Melafia was talking. You must link it to the production of inputs, intermediate inputs, even higher value-added input into local industry. That is the first stage. And that enables you to produce those first, second layers of light manufacturing and things. This economy doesn't have manufacturing. If you want to know that we are stuck structurally, just look at the composition of our GDP. On the average, I was looking at it, on the average for about 30-something years, GDP comes between 4%, manufacturing contribution to GDP, it comes at about 3.5, 4.5. But you understand, raw crude agriculture is about 40%, merchandising, buying what other people have produced to come and sell, buying and selling, is about 30-something%. But if you look at manufacturing should be at least, we should be driving towards 20, 30, 40, because manufacturing is the key bridge, is that platform that will enable you to cross from an economy based on raw this one, natural this one, crude this one, to an economy that is producing value, very high value, medium high value and things, and that can export competitively in the global economy. But we're doing nothing about developing the capacity and the sub-economy to supply manufacturing businesses within the economy. Look, so I'm sorry, you carry yam. Dr. Melafia, when you carry with all that weight and everything, now if you do the calculation, do you understand? With the cost, with all these things, and the weight, look at how much else you can be transporting with that.
Let me even look at that.
How much net profit do you get in that?
Let's look at that a little further now, because we see selector comparison now between Abuja, Adamawa, and Anambra State. In Abuja, for instance, look at that yam, the price that we see from that MDS data, 278.20. That's right. And then you then move to Adamawa, 277.99. Yeah. And then you now come to Anambra, 238.38. Now, if you now, the same scenario with respect to tomatoes, in Abuja, you get that 423.28. And then in Adamawa, 258.97. That's cheaper than the first one. And then look at this one in Anambra, 516 naira 50 kobo. And there's this principle. I just thought, what about, we have this Petroleum Equalization Fund, which is meant to bridge gap and ensure this uniformity. But the results, many will argue. If that principle were to be applied in this agric value chain, for instance, would it work to see how they could ensure that there's some sort of uniformity or something? Would that be feasible?
To be honest with you, I know quite a bit about PF. Why? Because I have family connection with the beginning of PF, all right? I mean, when I say family connection, I mean real family connection with the person who started PF in Nigeria in 1978, all right? I was there. I wasn't a member. I was just finishing university, but I was with a guy, with a man, with the uncle, all right? With hindsight now, PEF either should never have been applied at the rate of intensity at which it was applied. That is a pure technical issue. But the other one is the Nigerian factor. It was being abused. People were collecting those differentials, okay, and were claiming to go and distribute products in the farthest ends of Nigeria.
That has to do with the application.
That was the application.
But what about
the principle itself?
Yeah.
I think, you see, because there's always danger in subsidizing too generously. Do you understand? You should never have sought to do that. This is why we don't respect the market principles in a positive way. All that way back, you could choose something like, don't equalize. Just say, okay, we will reduce 20% so that let people go and trade into the market, by the market. So you go and sell what your infrastructure costs, your logistics, your whatever, to get the fuel.
Let me bring in this point.
It can be subsidized by 10-20%, but not 100%.
Oh, okay.
The equalization was, as far as I'm concerned, was a bad idea.
I was going to ask about that principle of subsidizing agri-product, because there are some countries who tell you, no, you don't need to do that, but we know that in some of the Western countries, that happens. So I was wondering, when you say, no, it was not a good idea, but you say 20% maybe, yes, but not 100%.
Not 100%. It's never good, because you must put yourself at a level where you now allow the market to grow and catch up with it, and you probably need less and less of that subsidy. But once you have committed yourself from day one to 100% subsidy, it will grow on you. The 100% will grow and grow and grow, and it takes a life of its own. And you know the problem, the classic problem with subsidy. When you start, you are a nice person. You have helped somebody. After some time, it feels like a right to the receiver. To remove it becomes 10 times more of a political and emotional